Well, it's now, I think, week 4 of the Mountain West season. The Dogs right now are in second place, and a whole bunch of teams that are fighting for first right now. And one of those teams is San Diego State, coming this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 o'clock both Friday and Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday. I'm sure you've seen them a little bit on tape now. What have you seen so far?
I just think they do a lot of things, well. I mean, they've got some good pitching. Both of their pitchers are in the 2s, sub 2s, ERA wise, and then offensively, they've got some kids that are hitting the ball well. Patrice is, has double-digit home runs and is also pretty high up there with some walks. So they're just a balanced attack, but nothing that I don't think if we take care of the things that we can take care of that we can't get over.
Speaking of healthy offenses, the team last week had 38 runs, the Dogs that is, and 20 innings there. I mean, what happened for the Dogs last week?
Well, it was just they saw the ball well, and it was exciting to see them come out with that energy. Friday they came out with a lot of energy as well, and they did a great job of battling back from a 8-run deficit, and really just did a great job of rebounding, and then obviously Saturday and Sunday just continuing that. And pre-conference we saw some tough pitching and really was trying to prepare ourselves for conference, and I think so far things have worked in our favor, and again this weekend we'll put a challenge in front of them and see how they respond.
And the pitchers had a little rougher first day, but they came back with a pair of 2-hit shutouts there on Saturday and Sunday from Hannah and Jill. Talk about their performances.
It was great to see them rebound. I mean, obviously Friday was rough from a pitching staff standpoint, but it was good for them to regroup and kind of check themselves a little bit and come out Saturday and Sunday and pitch like they're capable of pitching. And my running joke is if we throw shutouts, we win. So, they kind of chuckle, but I'm serious. If we throw shutouts, we'll be all right. So, they're just doing a great job of rebounding and doing a great, job of coming out the next day and not letting the previous day affect them. K-Shay came in for a little bit, and T-Lang came in for some innings on Friday, and she did pretty well. And that's what they're there for. They're there to kind of stop the bleeding and to suck up those innings.
I mean, also confidence-wise, I mean, obviously the other team has seen them now, seen their stuff,
right.
And they come back here and they allow 2 hits each of them each day. I mean, is that kind of like a great momentum boost for those two players, personality-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so. That's what you get when you deal with 18 to 22-year-olds. Is sometimes you don't know what's going on up there, but I think they're capable and they've worked really hard this off season. They've developed some things. I think the biggest thing when you're dealing with conference is you got to do something different than you did the year before, because they have film on you. They have lots of innings of film on you, so it's up to you to create something different for their eyes. And I thought both Hannah and Jill did a great job on Saturday and Sunday of doing that, of hitting their spots, working ahead, but also getting hitters out in a different way. And I think that's important as we move through this conference. I mean, San Diego State is a great team. They're like I said, a very balanced attack, and they're watching film as well. So we need to outsmart that and make sure that we still pitch to our strengths, but go at them in a little different pattern.
Talking about young players blossoming. I mean, Kiera Wallace last week hit 700 there. I mean, amazing week for her. I mean, talk about how much she's improved here the last few weeks.
Kiera is just, she's an athlete. I mean, that kid can run. She's stronger than an ox. She can hit, she can bunt, she can do it all. And she just needed a little TLC. She needed, to get somewhere where she was getting consistent coaching from the same people over and over. And I think she's really starting to hit her stride. She's fun. She's fun to watch. She's a specimen. This weekend, she had a fun. I mean, hit 700. I mean, you can't really argue much with that. And a couple of those at bats were 0-2 counts. So she battled and battled and battled. And the thing about Kiera that we've always talked about is she hates striking out. She will battle until she gets a ball to put in play. And our pitchers will tell you that when we throw against her in live situations, she battles. She battles. It might not be pretty all the time, but pretty doesn't make it so you can't get a hit. So she's just done a great job. And then I think defensively is where you've seen a lot of strides with her. She can cover a lot of ground, but her angles weren't always the best. And this weekend in particular, there was a ball hit down the left field line that she cut off and held the kid to a single. Some pop flies. I mean, New Mexico had 20-mile-an-hour winds and did a great job of making some very difficult catches that normally would be routine, but when that wind's up there swirling, got to keep your feet moving. And she just did, just a great job.
And team had like 7 stolen bases or so last week, and she had a couple of them too. Is it nice to see her actually be a factor on the bases too?
Yeah, it is. And she is somebody that we will continue to steal. You know, pros and cons of scoring a lot of runs is you stop running because, you know, it's just not good softball. And so, you know, obviously our base stealers wanted to get a couple more notches underneath their belt. But I think this weekend we're going to have those opportunities, and we're going to continue to push. But yes, she's definitely somebody that I enjoy seeing running around the bases.
And just behind her in the stats there as far as batting, but also ahead of her was Brooke Ortiz, had 1,000 slugging mark and 667 there. I mean, she's been a conference shortstop in the past, but she has somebody like, again, this year has a shot to repeat that?
Absolutely. And Brooke is, you know, a workhorse. That kid has gone through a lot this year, and she's just enjoying her senior year. She's enjoying being out here. Every day she comes out here, she's getting better. And it's paying off. And, you know, we had talked earlier that, you know, she worked really hard this summer because she had a rehab and had, you know, a lot to kind of overcome this fall, and did a great job. I mean, she's playing shortstop for the first time at, you know, Fresno State. She had been a second baseman up until this point in time, and has really, you know, taken control of that position, taken control of the infield. So it's really neat to be able to see her play.
She's one of 5 seniors on the team this year. Obviously, most of them are starters there, making key contributions there. But at the same time, there's also some people who are younger having a chance now to get some at-bats there with these big offensive, you know, onslaughts. And talk about maybe Bria Kennedy, how she's like basically plugged away there trying to take advantage of her opportunities.
Yeah, Bria has had some really strong at bats. I mean, had, you know, hit lasers right at people, and I would say her last probably 3 or 4 at bats have been that way. And so she will continue to get opportunities, because it's not always about if you get out or if you get a hit. It's more about what you look like in the box and what your presence looks like and what kind of swing. Are you getting good cuts on good pitches? And she's been doing that, and it was great to see that to finally pay off for her. She hit, you know, a great ball to left field, and her second at bat too, she hit another, you know, deep ball to left field. They were playing her a little bit back, but you know, today she came out today and had a great offensive session with us, with our small groups, and I think she's starting to get it, you know. And last year there was a lot thrown at her, and she'd be the first to tell you that she was overwhelmed, and it's starting to click, and it's neat to see her have confidence and be able to execute.
It's nice to see a local girl from Hanford get her first college hit there, and a double no less, you know, so that's actually fun for her. So this week can come up also, there's some big promotions on tap there. You know, there's some special sunglasses out there that you might have access to.
Oh, good Lord,
right?
yes. These sunglasses are a hot commodity. So last year when we did the sunglasses, you know, I brought a group of little ones, kids, out, and those are still to this day being talked about. When they go out and shoot hoops, they have to put on their bulldog sunglasses. So we're excited. I like the little addition of the bulldog here and the lettering. So Emma has already seen them and has already asked for a couple pairs. Yeah. So I think the kids will really like it. We're doing a lot this weekend for the kids. You know, with the root beer floats, the bounce house, and hopefully they'll come out and yell and scream for us.
That's awesome. Well, again, the games are at 6 o'clock on both Friday and Saturday, and 1 o'clock on Sunday. So come on out here and support your dogs against the Aztecs.
Yep. Be loud. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.